Hello and welcome to a new vlog and video of the cruise vibes, and today it is day 3 and unplanned also the last day on board of MS Otello. We are going from Bernkastel, where we start very early in the morning, to Cochem, and from there it was planned that I continue on to Koblenz, but due to a high water situation I had to leave the ship a bit earlier. Here on the map you can see our route today, and I will tell you a bit more about why I left the ship earlier in this video. As I said, we started very early in the morning, so I woke up shortly after Zell. Here we have a double-decker bridge of Alf and Bullei. The lower platform are the cars and on the upper platform are the trains. Very interesting building, quite a rare sight to have such a double-decker bridge in Germany. And after breakfast we reached the so-called Bremer Kalmont, which is one of the steepest vineyards in the world and the steepest one in Europe. Very spectacular landscape, very beautiful, absolutely worth seeing. As I already said in the last video, the Mosel, most probably the most beautiful river in Germany. Here we have Beilstein, another small village, very beautiful, with the castle Metternich high above the city center. Also worth a visit, but our destination today is the city of Cochem. Before reaching Cochem we have one more lock where we have a difference in altitude of about 7 meters before we are going to our destination Cochem. And it was planned that after Cochem I'm taking the Otello to Koblenz, and there I was leaving the ship anyway, because after that I had to go to another ship because I was booked there as a tour guide, so it was very important that I will be there on time. And yeah, during the day I got the information that the Otello can't stop in Koblenz because there's a lot of high water on the Rhine, and there was the danger that the ship is not making it to the mine where it was supposed to go to next during this cruise in time before the water levels of the Rhine get too high and the ship can't go into the Main River. So they decided to cancel Koblenz and go as fast as possible to the mine. So I decided to leave in Cochem, but at this point where we are right now in the video I had no idea. I just received a short information from the captain that this might be happening, but it was not sure yet, so I was still relaxed and enjoyed my lunch before heading out to discover Cochem. But as the captain already informed me that there might be some problems, I decided to not join the excursion but go on my own, so I can go back to the ship quite easily whenever I need to. But I wanted to do my favorite hike here in Cochem. Cochem has a very beautiful city center, but if you want to do a hike there's also a very good option, and that is the hike to the so-called Pinnerkreuz. For this you have to walk past the city center to the so-called Sesselbahn, which is chairlift, and you can take the chairlift up to the Pinnerkreuz, but if you want to do the hike you have to go down here, and here starts this quite challenging hike. So this is not a hike for beginners. It is quite demanding, going uphill all the time with stairs or steep parts. The path is pretty small, sometimes there's a drop right next to it. But in between you always get rewarded with views like this. You can see some of the castles. Here we have the Reichsburg Castle, one of the most beautiful castles in Germany. And there's also a ruin in the other direction to see. So it is a very scenic hike. You are always walking past the chairlift. So sometimes you would think maybe I should have taken the chairlift instead, because it's quite challenging. It's going quite steeply uphill. Sometimes, like here, you have a quite heavy drop on the side next to it. So it is a hike, not a walk, and I would only recommend it for experienced hikers. You don't have to be like a very experienced hiker, but at least it shouldn't be your first hike in your life. Also here you can see how steep the drop is right next to the path, so if you're afraid of heights, maybe this is also not the best thing you should do. But once you're up you will get a very amazing view over the city of Cochem. But unfortunately in the meantime I got the final information that the ship will not stop in Koblenz, and it will be critical to stay on board and hope that everything will go well so that I can be on my next ship in time for sure. So I decided it is the better option to leave the ship here in Cochem and arrive on time at my next ship for sure. This is the fantastic view from the Pinnerkreuz. Fortunately, I didn't have time to enjoy it, so I'm straight heading back down. And there's a second way down where you end up at the station of Cochem. This one is not as spectacular and it's not that well maintained, so sometimes it's a bit difficult because there are plants on the way and the general state is not too good, but it's also quite a nice hike. But for this you also need to be a good hiker and you need to have good equipment with you, good shoes, so it can get a bit slippery every now and then. But also from there you have some nice views. Of course, I was now in a bit of hurry because I needed to get back on board, pack my luggage and leave the ship before it started to sail straight to the mine. And then I will go on my next ship. There will be a video about the next ship, but as I was there as a tour guide, there will be only a ship tour. And unfortunately this means that this is the last day on board of this wonderful ship, the Otello. I would have loved to stay a bit longer, but of course I also needed to make sure to be on my next ship in time. So unfortunately this is the early end. Once again, thank you to CITS for inviting me. Make sure to check the ship tour where you get more information on how to book a cruise on this ship, but you can also just search for the name. And that's it for this video and this short series. I hope you enjoyed it. Here you can see when the next video will be uploaded and the name of the song. As always, I'd like to say thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, make sure to comment, like, subscribe or share the video link, and I hope to see you in my next video then.